Welcome back to another episode of Mental Game Monday, where we break down the mental aspect of the entrepreneurship game. Today, we're talking about success and failure and how they may be a lot closer and a lot similar than you think. Let's go. So welcome to Heist, the channel that's all things FBA. However, on Mondays, I've started a new series getting into the mental aspect of entrepreneurship. You can know all the tactics, all the strategies, all the elements of e-commerce, entrepreneurship, and Amazon FBA. However, if you don't get the mental game right, you can't win in this game. So today I'm going to talk about success and failure. I think that a lot of people think that they are polar opposites. And I guess in many respects, they share very dissimilar characteristics. However, I can tell you that success and failure are literally next door neighbors. And you don't realize how close you are to success when you go through adversity, when you go through challenges, and when you go through seeming failure. I want to use an example of my first 100% owned private label Amazon brand as an example. So my career is different than most in the Amazon space in the sense that I was involved in the acquisition of a company that had a major channel footprint in Amazon. However, it was Amazon 1P. So after that acquisition, one of the opportunities that I uncovered was turning that business from 1P to 3P, which is basically what most of us private label sellers do. And took that channel, I think at the time it was doing around 3 million, and we added $2 to $3 million pretty quickly to that business. So I thought, hey, this is a really interesting model. Why don't I do this on my own and see if I can kind of start something from scratch? So I was pretty confident, if I'm honest. I dug into the elements of Amazon. I learned a lot about taking that brand and that business from 1P to 3P, doubled the size of it, saw what that looked like. Pretty encouraged. So I came in pretty confident. Well, I selected a product that was around, I think it was like $250, something like that. I wanted something that was a little bit low commitment, which I think a lot of us do as newbie sellers. So my initial order was something like $5,000. Came in, launched it, actually ranked the product, so was pretty successful with the initial launch approach in getting that initial momentum going. Even got really good review volume out the bat, but ultimately the product was a failure. I think I came close to maybe breaking even on it, but it really didn't stick. It wasn't a home run. It was at best a single. My confidence was shattered. I thought, man, do I really have what it takes for this game? I thought coming in, like I think we all do, had fantasies and delusions of grandeur of everything going great, and I was going to be this rock star right up the get-go, coming out my first 100% owned private label brand and just kill it. That wasn't the case. I had a decision at that point, and I think a lot of us do when we face failure, and it's a fork in the road. It is do we pack up camp and do we go back to the world, the life that we used to know and pursue, or do we bite down on the mouth guard? Do we dig in our heels? Do we suck up the losses and continue on and see what that path of the unknown to success looks like? I'm very lucky that I took that second path. I decided, look, I'm gonna go for one more product, see what this looks like, see if I can kind of dust myself off and win. That product ended up being a colossal winner for me. I think I turned in the second month about $30,000, and then it's gone on to do $80,000 plus months, lifetime probably close to $1 million in gross sales. Had I had packed up the tent though, at that moment of failure, I would have never seen that I was inches and inches away from what is now a completely different life journey for me, completely different element of success in my business life, and frankly, a completely different person and individual and destiny that I can now live out. So just realize this, guys. This doesn't mean that if you've got a crappy product or your business isn't working and it's broken, that you double down on it and continue to throw good money after bad. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is registering what seem like colossal failures and that may even break you, using that as scar tissue, as calluses in the entrepreneurship game to take that next step. You might need to go back and save some more money for a little bit. You might need to dust yourself off for 6 months or a year before you come back at it. Whatever the case is, just realize that those failures and those experiences that seem really negative and destructive at the time are signals that you are very, very close to success. You can take those lessons, you can take those learnings, and you can carry them through in the next path in your journey. A little mental cue that I like to use, and it's something that I've kind of learned over the last couple of years, specifically as it relates to business, is I kind of look at it like a motivating thing when failure happens or when adversity faces me. The reason being, I'm like, look, this means I'm closer to success, and this means that more people that aren't like me are dropping out of this game, and the air is getting thinner, and there's very few people that are willing to go into those depths, to suffer those defeats, to lick their wounds, and to come back stronger than ever. So realize, guys, that even if you're not successful now, and maybe you're a colossal failure, at least from a business standpoint right now, failure and success are literally next door neighbors, and you could be knocking on the door in the next path that you take to success. We'll see you later on this week, guys, where we're going to dive into more Amazon FBA content. Also, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We do this every single Monday. It is Mental Game Monday, and we're going to keep doing it weekly. Cheers.